Mbula pinaka, everyone. Hope you all well. Babidi pinaka chukani wiki mnina nomuni wakarongo tiko mai and sini pinaka ni kuwa. Marau ni rau ni kirome sota ni kuwa but ke indo na nonda ngonela ni biti ngonela ito ke da kila na buru-buru ni buturara ni langa sere. So we can sarong at chingoso na nona ser to toka sara ka lewe rapak mureti ko na nona talendi na ngone leongo ena ga ibak matal teki ko weekenda na bunueda butumikina nona koro nona korni basu ke na nona bubale nimbula binaka ya enda sana rongo ta matang kona nona sere sengai tabu ngango en doanga ngona leka bidanga na sino saoti dana tiko na Tamaqu and na ronga ta matana nona sere na nonta maramo bulangi dokai ka sulitu no ngona me mai dampe batu tuki keda ena sini binaka ni kuwa nimbula binaka na buno ta ngoni siamba tiko mai kina au ni taka ni rongo binaka tiko yani na biu liba ni Talanoa with Dr. Tinda na rongo ta matango na sere na Tamaqu mai buana ngone lewa o Kali Tui.
Toka e asango Lulu e tarai au voli O de toka le Tamaqu Susungi e na yalondina Turangan dau da kadaka Deri o da nave isotari Dola tangalu tu ai tavi Yalondina vakaturanga Kondomoni tina gundina Vei vakatabuli di vakatama Tomano tu ai vala Au yeleo anganga tu endai Niu viving itu enongu kawai Balolo ale tu ni bakanananu Au tawangole David Tamaqu Tawangole David Tamaqu Au tawangole David Tamaqu Tawangole David Tamaqu Ko tawangole Davile No viva kaya longanga daki Tikitu ni vengaravi Tango makitu e asamu Nikondau vakande meni au Toko na voli tunongu tatandra Tau masulaka tunongu sasanga Autoso tu e na vukumu alenga Au sading goma meu carabina Vei kadibitu na aloha Lutumbina yalo ena mafoa Solia akaluka utatalenga Au donu makanomu loloma Au yeleo anganga tuendai Niu viving itu enongu kawai
sa rong vinakandina. Bula vinaka Abigail Tuiloma se sa era kile tikinango o Kali Tui. Wakam bula madamay weekend the Kali.
Bulvinaka, Dr. T, thank you so much for having me. Bulvinaka to all the viewers, everybody who might be watching this incredible show that Dr. T hosts. I'm really happy to be here.
Yes, Vinaka Vakalev Sar, and tell us where you are connected from right now.
Right now I'm in the studio. We're currently shooting this one in Watuanga. This is where our producer, Tropic Thunder Wasile lives. So his home studio is here. This is where all the magic happens.
Oh my goodness, I'd love to visit that place one day when I'm back in Fiji, because I know, as you said, that's where magic happens, and that's where many of these beautiful, wonderful songs, being recorded. And so, the Nakavakalevu to the team, behind the scenes, and it's just wonderful to see the talent that many of our own people back home in Fiji have. Yeah, when you compare it to the many countries around the world, Fiji has, the talent. Vinaka Vakalev Sara. And maybe for our wonderful listeners, many of them have been following you online. And one of them is, I was telling you before, my own daughter. She lives in Australia. One day she called me and she said, Mom, there's this song. I just love this song. And it's on repeat. And, it was one of your songs. And I just messaged her and I said, listening, I'm actually talking to her right now.
Nice.
So if you can just tell us where you're from originally and your Korinivasu, and maybe a little bit of where you were raised.
As I said, Mbulvanaka guys, thank you so much for having me, Dr. T. My name is Abigail Tuingilangila, but we're also known as Tuiloma. I am from the village of Tubou in Lakeba in the province of Laos. And my mom is from Nukuloa, Ngau, Lomai Viti. I was born and raised in Suva, but I spent a lot of my teenage years in Brazil. So that's why when I came back, not a lot of people knew who I was because I did not go to school here. I didn't attend any high schools in Fiji. So when I came back, a lot of people didn't really know who I was until I came back, went straight into university, started with VT1S, and everyone is still trying to figure out, where did this girl come from? But that's where I was for a lot of my life. But other than that, I was in and out. I was here in Fiji, raised a little bit in New Zealand, came back, went again to Brazil, and then now I'm back home.
Wow, Sardin. Yeah, because one of my questions was wanting to know which school you attended.
Yes.
So obviously there will be no school from Fiji, but
only my primary school. I was in Suva Christian Community School.
Okay.
That was all of my primary education I got from there. But when I went back to Brazil, I took high school in Brazil.
So the Suva Christian, that's the one in Lodala Beach?
Yes, it used to be in Lodala Beach. Now they're in Domain, I think. The high school is in Nandera.
Oh, okay. Wow. See, that school is getting quite popular in terms of the primary now moving into secondary school. Suva Christian. So, Burubinaka to all the ex-scholars of Suva Christian Primary School, and this is one of your classmates or ex-scholars who is doing so amazingly on the music stage in Fiji. And so you mentioned Brazil. Why Brazil and why New Zealand?
For New Zealand and Brazil, both of the whole reason why we were there was because of my dad. My dad, he was a civil servant, served his country, served the government for most of his working life. Most of his career was spent in service to the people of Fiji. He spent a lot of years in PWD, and he just worked his way up until the point where he got appointed as a High Commissioner to New Zealand. So we spent 2008 in New Zealand, and we just spent 8 months because there was relationship issues between the two countries. So we were all sent back. we were sent back, the New Zealand ambassador was sent back to her country. And we came back, just spent 8 months, stayed in Fiji maybe till 2011 and went again to Brazil. My dad was appointed again as an ambassador. And they had 3 years, which turned 3 years in a term, but it ended up becoming 7 or 8 years of my life there. So I came back in 2019.
So you just came just before COVID.
Yes.
Hey, wow. And so when you returned to Fiji, did you go straight to USP to study?
Yes. I went straight to USP. I was pursuing a Bachelor of Arts in Politics and Literature. I was trying to be like my dad, and then literature was more it was more something I wanted to do. So I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I like literature. Let me pick literature. But politics was mostly my dad's influence. I wanted to be a lot like my dad growing up. And in 2019, my dad died in September. We came back in, I think, Jan, and he passed away in September. And I remember it was going great. It was going really good until COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I never ended up finishing my my degree, but I hope to finish it again. But as soon as we came back, a lot of things happened as soon as we came back in 2019.
Because you just arrived, eh? That was just in September, within 1 year of returning.
Yes, so many different changes.
Dear Sarah, and how's the family coping, Kali, with your dad's passing?
Oh, it was hard. It was very hard because when I came back, my dad was like everything. Like he used to do everything for us. Like my mom and I were pampered. I was pampered all my life. I didn't have to do anything. And then to have your protector and provider on earth kind of leave you, it was very difficult because at the end of the year, it was different. In the beginning of the year, I came back thinking it was like my year to come back and, study and get my degree and then get a job. Like everything was planned. Everything totally changed when my dad passed away at the end of the year. And then when COVID hit, all the grief came in. I wasn't addressing it in 2020 until COVID hit. I wasn't addressing it at all. I wasn't addressing it. I didn't want to feel it until COVID hit. When the world stopped, I had to start dealing with those feelings. And it was really tough because it demotivated me from finishing my studies. But I'm so motivated now.
Yes,
God
thank
that he got me through.
dear Nasara. Yeah, because I know it's not easy. I lost my dad last year, in December, and especially when you are close to them,
Yes.
and it's I mean, grieving. Everyone grieves differently. I think for me it always hit me the most when when you're all by yourself, and sometimes I hear certain music, or there's things that happen around you that reminds you of them.
Yes. And I'm so sorry to hear about that too, but I totally understand where you're coming from. And for me, it was really difficult. I spent the next 4 or 3 years not dealing with it. It was showing in my weight loss. It was showing in my grades. I wasn't doing well, but I was trying to stay afloat. I was trying to keep moving forward, not let it ruin me. Just at least try to keep my spirit happy.
Yes.
And so I was involving myself in church, which was really helpful, and trying to find purpose, because I was feeling really purposeless. I didn't know what to do. I felt so much pressure and responsibility. So I found purpose in church, and that ended up really benefiting me, because who would have thought I would have gotten a job? And soon after getting a job, VT1S would have called me for this role of Kali Tui.
So yes, and I think with your dad and now with you in your singing career, he must have left it legacy for you. What do you think?
He did. He was a big lover of music. Ooh, that man. He used to play music every morning. He wakes, and my dad was very routine. The song Tamaqu, it was for him, and it was for every person who has ever lost a parent. Especially if you've lost your dad. If you're a woman and you've lost your dad, it's different. if you're a man, you can feel that too, because you're losing your father. And for other people who've lost somebody, for me, that was my dad, and my dad would have been really proud to see where I am right now. And I do a lot of it because I think of the fact that back then when he was alive, he was really trying. He wanted me to do all of this, and he used to push me, and he used to be like, Baba, do you want to sing? I want you to sing professionally. I can get you a studio. I have the money and the funds to get you this and that. And I used to say, no, I don't want to do it. It's not my time. I don't know why I said that then, but it really wasn't. The time is now. Now. This is the perfect time. God's aligned this time. This is his plan.
So back then he could see your potential.
Yes, yes. And he used to play music every morning. That was our alarm. My mom and I would wake up at 6 because he's already playing music from the room. And he loved like Samoan music, Tongan music, African music, country music. We have so many country CDs at home. It's insane. He used to listen to a lot of Fijian music, like Delanindoki. Oh my gosh, I'm butchering that name.
Yeah,
But they were really my dad loved them.
Wow.
Like, yeah, all kinds of music that man was listening to. So he was influencing a lot of my musical side because I was listening to that growing up. He would be playing this in the speakers to wake us up, but it was influencing a lot of who I am today. That's him a lot. A lot of it is from him and my mom.
Sandin, and how does your mom feel with seeing you singing on stage?
Oh, she's so proud. It's almost like she's too proud. Like she shares everything. She's commenting everywhere. Sometimes like we'll be sitting in the taxi or going somewhere and she'll be singing. She'll be singing it. And I'm like, am I singing? Am I the singer? Or are you the singer? She loves it. Like she's in love with it. And I don't think I would have been able to do VT1S. Like I wouldn't have been able to be on board with this team if I didn't have the support of my mom. And from the beginning, the first meeting with our director Tix and our producer Thunder, from the first meeting, as soon as I told her, like, nah, I have something, I've just met some people, like they're proposing this to me. And she said, do it. Like your dad would have wanted you to do it.
Wow, full support to mom, eh? Wow. There was one picture I remember. I think you're performing in Nandi. Was it it was close to the sea,
Yes.
and you were on the stage and your mom was taking a photo
Yes.
from the beach,
Yes.
to you where you were standing, and I love the picture. It's
Yeah,
like,
she's a
man,
big
it's your
supporter.
mom fangirling you.
Yes, she's like a big fan. She won't admit it, but I always tell her like I'm a celebrity in this home, and she won't admit it. She'll be like, "Oh, who's this? I'm a celebrity." She really thinks it's her world, but she is a huge fan of me. Like she's the best mom. She's the best mom, and she's the best supporter. She's been at every concert and every future concert. She's like, "I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there." Blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, oh, I'm so happy that I'm glad and grateful that I have a good mom like that, supportive.
So Vinaka, and I know with Talanoa today there'll be lots of young people, boys and girls watching. I'm sure they will show this to their mom.
Yes, yes.
I can imagine them. See, now Regango, come and see this. So they'll be using you and your mom as a point of reference.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, man, Vinaka Makaliw, thanking mom. So her name, what's your mom's name?
My mom is Serema. Her name is Serema Mothe Tuiloma.
Yes. So Mrs. Sarima, Tuiloma, if you're listening in, we are talking about you right now with lots of love. And we just want to say Vinaka Vakalevu for supporting Kali for her music. And I think it's wonderful, to see parents standing behind their children.
Yes, especially since she's doing it on her own for the past 5 years. She's been doing it on her own, but she's doing an amazing job.
Sandiana Sara. And I forgot to ask, do you have other siblings, Kali?
Yes, I do. For my mom and dad, they had relationships before and they had kids before. My mom has one son before me. and my dad had 2 sons and 1 sister. So I have a sister and 3 brothers, and I love each one of them, but we're all in different places right now. Some out of Fiji, some in different parts of Fiji, but I always think of them every now and then. They're my older siblings. Like, we have about 20 years age difference.
Wow.
Yeah, so we weren't raised together, but I always think of them. And we're not that close because we have this 20-year age gap. But I'm close
Exactly.
to one of my brothers. He's in Solomon Islands and his name is Mary. So
Oh, and I'm sure I'm just curious now that they know of you, singing and watching you perform. I
yes.
wonder what would they say, to see you. That's our little sister right there.
Yes, like I know that I'm sure they're very proud because um I'm sure they're very proud because I know their kids are. I always see their kids liking and commenting, and I see my brothers and my sister also liking and commenting a lot of my posts. So I know that I'm sure that if they ever get asked about it, they'll be like, "That's our sister."
Wow, man, to talk about this lovely, yeah, to have the family support, yeah, because it's always wonderful to start from home.
Yes,
When that's that strong foundation and strong support, my
yes,
vale, everything else will just, blossom after that, eh?
yes.
And now tell us a little bit about when you were approached and how did VT1 knew of you? I'm just curious.
The thing about me was that I was really not doing anything that would catch their attention. I was just making covers,
Yes.
recording covers of songs that I really liked, international songs. I was just recording covers of it and posting it on Instagram for fun, just because I like the challenge of making a cover of a song and making it different and making it my own.
Mm.
And I had no idea that a friend of mine from USP was already in VT1s, and his name is Oz.
Okay.
Oz is a really, really talented artist as well on VT1s. And he had been mentioning it to them. I didn't know this at the time, but he was mentioning it to them. He mentioned it the first time and they didn't pick it up. They had a big year, were really busy, had so many artists to focus on. So I'm sure they were like, we don't have time. Then the second time they checked my page out and they were like, okay, who's this? They messaged me on Instagram and I almost thought it was fake. I was at work. I was living my
Could have
best life.
just delete.
And I was thinking that, I was like, I wasn't even thinking that anyone from music in Fiji, a group as big as VT1s would be messaging me like that. They messaged me and they were asking if I wanted to meet, hear them out about a proposal to be an artist.
Yes.
And when I came to meet them, it was perfect. It was the perfect meeting. Everything we talked about matched. All of their values matched the values that my parents instilled in me, for sure. Like, that was very important to me.
Yes.
And when I had the support of my mom after that meeting, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm doing it.
Wow. That is amazing. And then, so from the covers, so you were singing covers and putting it out on your page, and then
Yeah.
Oz saw it and could make the connection.
Yes. And Oz, we met in USP. He was doing politics as well. So we were doing some units together and we would just meet and say hi and, study together every now and then, but not really thinking, I didn't think that he would really go and like say that, and I wasn't really aware that he was in VT1s as well. I was in my own world. Like I said, I was dealing with a lot of grief. So I was in my own bubble of sadness and I hadn't had a job yet. So I wasn't working. I was at home trying to figure out my life.
Yes.
I was not aware that he was in VT1s. I wasn't aware of VT1s' movement, but I knew that they were really big. So then I think last year, I got my job at the company that I'm working for. It's an outsourcing company here in Suva. That was the beginning of my brain kind of being like the fog clearing up. I felt so much better about who I was, and I felt like I had a purpose, and I was just really following God's plan. And then he led me to VT1s.
And also I heard that you used to sing in church too.
Yes. That's my main foundation right there too. I really practiced the confidence part in the choir. We attend St. Henry Church, in Suva, and to be a part of that choir, it's very strict. You have to follow rules, and you in uniform, you have to have uniform. When you sit in the choir, you have to, it's very disciplined. And I really wanted to join because at the time there was not a lot of youth in our choir.
Yeah.
And that was when I was struggling, I was depressed. And I thought I have to do something to occupy my time and get my thoughts away from my life and how sad I was. So I was involving myself in church, and I thought, oh, let me join the choir. I know literally every adult in this church. I know every adult in the choir. I love each and every one of them. I mingle well with adults. Might as well be the first, like young person to join, because they were saying, you guys should join. You have a good voice. You should join. Like, come while we're still here.
Yes.
And that was like the important thing about me joining in the choir, because I thought, yeah, I need to join the choir because while they're still here, while our all the choir members are still here, they were long-serving choir members. I mean, some of these choir members have been there since they were 21, since they were 18. Yeah, some of them were like teenagers and they joined the choir. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna do this because I want to learn from them while they're still here. It's valuable to be able to learn from them, learn the things that they know about, being in the choir. And I'm really happy about that because we're losing them, we're losing a lot of our elders. And I'm very glad that I took that step. And it pushed me because I had to perform. Sometimes I had to do some duets. I had to sing duets and solos and stuff in church. And that pushed me to, be able to perform in front of people at church. And then who would have thought that would have helped me with performing in VT1S too.
Sarah. And how did your mom react to see you, being part of the choir back then?
Oh, she loved it. But it was like competitive because she's in the choir too, we both in alto. Like in the beginning, she was like, she didn't say anything about it. But when I joined, it became competitive. Can't have two, So like it was really competitive. Like if at one point, we were both in alto, right? We are contralto. And then at one point they were like, looking for someone to take the role of the whip. So the whip is like the person who kind of does the secretarial work, underneath the liu, the leader. They picked me. So I almost had to boss her. She didn't like it. She did not like it at all. So right now with VT1S, while I'm with VT1S, I haven't been able to participate as much in the choir and also with my workplace. Just so many things going on. I haven't been able to participate as much as I would like. So I know she's having her shine. Let her have her shine.
Oh,
But
very
she loved
nice.
it until I came. It was competitive.
Well, because she's from now in Loma
Yes.
Lindsay.
She was like, there can only be one star. That's me. That's where I get it from. I get it from my mom.
You get it from your mom. Lovely to see you two's a little competition there. So when I meet her in person, I'll ask her to give me more information about that.
Yes.
Mrs. Tuiloma, I'm sure she's got a beautiful voice as well, and
Yes.
really wonderful to see both of you. Being in the choir together, and she's just a great support as well. Now, in terms of the recent songs that you've just released, tell us about it.
Oh, wonderful. I love it. The recent songs that I've released, they come under my EP. So this project was really special to us because each one of the artists in VT1S, they all have to do an EP. Because the EP kind of shows, after you're putting out a bunch of singles, you have to have an EP that kind of shows the individual artist. So this one really shows who I am. And for us, when we thought of CC, first of all, with the name, we named it in reference to the Sisi Lakeba because I'm from Lakeba, from Tubou. And I know a lot of people were confused about it. Some people thought like it was the name of a woman. Is it Sisi, like Cecilia? is it ngone sisi? I was like, oh my gosh, like what are you thinking? So I was like, this is to set the record straight. The sisi means sisi ni Lakeba. I meant that because of where I'm from. And just like the garland from Lakeba, it was weaving together a bunch of different stories that kind of tell different lessons. So I have 3 songs in there, 3 different stories. For 2 of the songs where they were written by Juben, super talented songwriter, super talented artist himself. And so he was really able to help me out with those 2 songs. And the thing is, the whole project was a big collaboration between me and the other artists, existing artists in VT1S. They have the most experience, you know. Wedger, Liz, Oz, and Juben, they all are super talented with Nikki Beddoes. They were able to help me in every part of the process when it came to the 3 songs. So for Juben, he wrote Tamaqu and Sayala. And for Tontomongo, we had another writer, a very, very talented writer who is outside of Fiji in Marshall Islands. His name is Solo Tonga. So he's super amazing. And those 3 songs are really special to me, especially Tamaqu. Tamaqu was for my dad. That was definitely for my dad. And for everyone who's lost somebody, that was for us. Sayala, if you're ever going through a moment in your relationship where you're like, I've been trying and now I can't do it anymore. It's finished. Sayala, yeah. So that was where that came from. That was definitely Juben's writing, Juben's inspiration. Yeah, he came up with all of the melody, everything for that. And for Dondomongo, that was Solo's ideas as well. The melody we came up with as a team. So, you know, that's a totally different story where you're in love and it's lasting till death. So 3 different stories. You know, for anyone who's listening and is able to relate. I know a lot of people are relating to this, different songs, different stages of life. So I'm very happy that I was able to get those 3 different topics. I mean, I'm very, very blessed to be a part of a team who's super helpful and helped me along the way with this project.
That is wonderful. How did your work with Juben, started? Did you have to choose from the artists that are there, or how did it work?
For the writing with Juben, I mean, with Solo, he was the first song that I was working on. With Dondomongo and Solo, he had sent in these lyrics. And the thing is, the writers, they're so gifted. They have a God-given talent. They just are connected to the creative part of their brain where it's just like coming. So they just have words coming in and they could just hear a story and be able to write a whole song about it. So that's their gift. And for Solo, he is the same. We just kind of asked him for some lyrics and he had sent in this song, his own topic, his own lyrics. And we just kind of had to work with the melody. For Juben, he's always in the West. His lovely family are all in the West. But he sacrifices a lot of his time to come over and work, you know, because he's so creative, super talented. And the lyrics and the music is just always flowing in him. It's part of his literal, it's part of his like day-to-day. He's always thinking about music, always thinking about songs, always thinking about melodies, always thinking about lyrics. So for Sayala, that was his own inspiration, his own lyrics that he had. And he thought, I wrote this for, and the thing about him is he writes it for voices. So he knows Liz's voice and he can write a song that's for her voice. He knows my voice, so he wrote those for me. But Tamaqu was my special request. I definitely knew I needed a song about my dad. I needed it. Yeah, this one I needed. So I just gave a few things about my dad. And I told him I really wanted it to be general. I didn't want it to be specifically about my dad because I wanted it to be relatable to everyone who's lost somebody that they care about.
Absolutely, yeah. Even for me, you know, when I heard it the very first time, you know, we just relate to it. I kept listening, you know, to it, you know, over and over again. So Vinaka Bakalevu, you know, to you, you know, for singing it so beautifully, and of course to Juban for, you know, his wonderful talent. And is he gonna write more?
Oh, yeah, he's writing all the time. It never stops. So that's why we're really, really blessed anytime he's around here in Suva. And we're always, always blessed that we have a studio here and a producer and the family. We're really grateful to the Wasile family. They always host us here. This studio is just a room in their home. It's really humble. It's not like what people think. I think people think that VT1S is so big that it's a huge production. They don't know that these are real people living their real lives, and this is just their home. But music is such a big part of who they are that it's in their home, it's in their space. Whenever he needs to work, he comes to the studio and he works. And Juben comes over to Vatuanga to be able to work too. So we're really grateful to always have him in Suva, especially with his beautiful baby and his beautiful wife over in the West. So we're always grateful that he's here.
That is wonderful, Vinaka, and that makes a big difference, yeah, when you have such great team members, yeah, keeping everything working and the support.
Yes.
Yes, Puro Vinaka Juben, if you're listening and in Lotoka and maybe with your wife and your baby, Vinaka Bakalevu Juben, and I think he won one of the awards in Australia. Was it last year?
Yes, he won Pacific Break.
Pacific Break, that's it. And yeah, that was something I noticed with him was the use of the Wasabakaviti, yeah, in his rap music. And that's really nice to see that, the use of the language. How does it feel for you too, when you see VT1 team when they sing in Fijian?
Oh man, it's good because everyone who knows me knows like I'm plastic. I'm very bad at Fijian, but I really want to know. Like I am so much better now than when I came back in 2019. I came back in 2019, I had this like thick accent and I couldn't get it off. And I really started wanting to learn Fijian when I was away in Brazil because I was like, this is unique to us. I want to know how to speak it.
Wow.
But I'm still not fluent, but I love that
You're
now.
getting there.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah? And also through songs
Yes,
and music, Wakandua.
they would never have thought that I'd be singing Fijian songs. I met one girl. We started USP together when I came back from Brazil. We went to politics together, literally every unit. And she was like, "Hey, who would have thought the most plastic from all of us never speak Fijian, only had a thick accent, American accent, come back and you singing Fijian songs." See?
Wow, to talk about it. So that's your calling, you'll be, championing this language, and that's wonderful, Kali, for doing this, because lots of young children as well, who are growing up too, they wanting to learn the Masabakaviti. Because for me, I also teach the language and I incorporate music in my classes. See? So, because I encourage them and say, you can listen to the Serabakaviti, and that's how you can also learn the words and remember.
And I learn a lot of new words now that I'm in VT1S. Like, it's really helping my Fijian because I learn a lot of new words. They use some words that I have never heard before, like very formal part of the language, because we use a lot of slang day to day. So when I hear these words, I'm just very like grateful because I'm like, yes. Because whenever I ask my mom doesn't have the time to explain, but this is my way of learning.
Yes, and it's immersion through music.
Yes. So I'm very grateful and proud to be a part of this movement.
Sa totoo ka wako binaka bakalevo Kali for doing that, even though you would say, oh, it's out of your comfort zone, but you took it, and you just jump in and langser.
Yes.
Yeah, totoo ka sarangan. Now the other question I was thinking of too, you've got your 3 new songs, the Tamangu, Sayala, and Dodomongo. You also had the song Day.
Yes.
How did that song come about?
Oh, for Day. When it came to thinking of another song right after Nanu Miao, because Nanu Miao was like my breakout single. That was the one that introduced me to all of the fans of VT1S. This is what would determine if people will like her or would they reject her? So when it came to what would follow up, Nanumia was like a test run because they wanted to push me out of my comfort zone, and my comfort zone is R&B.
Ah,
So we were like, I know our director, Tix Kordawiri, he was like, let's try a different genre. Maybe you'll be able to, like, let's push you out of your comfort zone. So they tried Amapiano beats, and that was really good because I loved it. I didn't mind that. It was really beautiful. I mean, the way they blended that. But when it came to the second one, I was singing, and he heard me, and he was like, okay, wait, you really are R&B girl. Let's do your next one as an R&B single because you really, okay, I changed my mind. Let's try out your comfort zone. And they reached out to Jay Tauleka, and he was able to come up with the lyrics. And the idea of the song came from Tix. He kind of brainstormed it with Jay, and it formed Day. And he came up with the melody, everything, brought it to me. I was able to record it here in the studio with Thunder, and the rest is history.
Wakandu, eh? Totoo kasaranga. Because I think it was the day song, the one that my daughter called me
Yes.
about, and she was just like, "Mom, it's on repeat." Like
Oh,
sagawiri chikngadawiri, and she
I
was
love
just
my
like,
daughter.
"Tarong bilang sarangano, klano, especially na masababiti nilangat chiko na eh?" And she was like, "Mom, this is taking the Fijian music to another level." And I was
Oh.
like, God, saranga. So, and now how do you feel, now in Fiji, after Brazil, and you're
Hmm.
in this music industry, what's the future for time?
Oh man, I don't know. It's onwards and upwards from here. I know it because the Lord's been really leading me. He's aligned everything in my path. I mean, I wasn't even planning any of this. I didn't plan it. I didn't have any idea that it would be like this. But I know the sky is the limit, and above it, can go over that. There's so much
Amen.
that we can do with this team, especially then since I have a really, really, really supportive team here at One VT1s. Like they have been able to really,
Wow.
I mean, they listen to me and they also direct me because I also don't know where to go. So I know that I really trust my team. I trust my family support. And I know that there's more music coming. I don't know what it'll be, but I know it'll be better.
Wow, that is awesome. That is amazing. Vinakavale Vukali for, just being you, I think, and I love that the team saw your strength and your talent, eh? And they
Oh,
just work around you rather than making you do something that, maybe you're not comfortable with. So if your team is listening, Vinakavakalim.
thank you.
Yeah, so that's something that we're all looking forward to see more of your songs and your sound. And there's something about your voice, that is so unique. Have a lot of people commented on that?
Yeah. A lot of people say that. With the day song, I didn't know that there was so many. I mean, it really brought out a lot of Fijian people who love R&B, but they don't hear it often because, we have a particular sound that we like. Majority of Fijians like, majority of the listeners in Fiji like. So when it came to R&B and I was seeing all the comments and everyone loved that sound, I was just like, oh, I love it because that means, it's bringing people out. It's bringing the people who like different things to come out. And when it comes to my sound, a lot of people say that it's like you're listening to an artist from outside of Fiji, but singing in Fiji, and it kind of blows their mind a bit. And I was like, yes, honey, we have the talent right here on our soil. We have it all here. If you want to look outside, it's all here.
Dear Nasaranga. And I think also before we started the live, I was there asking about Speeding Village, yeah, the company that did your video recording. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I'm thinking, is this, a team that is, based somewhere else, maybe in the Caribbean or, somewhere else, but it's in Wainandoi. Tell us a little bit about
Yes.
that experience.
Man, these guys are just very talented. The gang at Spinning Village, because that's Fijian owned. It's owned by the Kordowiris, hence the name Spinning Village. I was like, wow, you gang's brain. How did you think of that? But they're such a talented team. Everybody on that team, and they're continuing to hire more people because they're growing, and that's even better. The more they grow, the more that they can continue to make amazing stuff, and they really do make the magic. I mean, they make the magic for VT1S for sure. So we're very, very proud and very blessed to have these two different companies, working together to make music. And it's all about music. It's all about the music. It's all about the visuals. It's all about putting out great content and not being lazy about it.
Exactly. They've really raised the bar.
Yes.
Yeah. So really binakasaranga. And even as I was saying, all the gang from Namosi, they're like, hey, that's in Wainandoi. I think it's in the Namosi area.
Gosh. Yes, that day video was in Wainandoi at the incredible, the great Lysa Villacoro's house. I was just so blessed to meet her, and she was so welcoming, and she was like, yes, go wherever you want. The land is all here for you. And Spinning Village, all they need to know is, yes, we can use this. Yes, you're approved, allowed to go anywhere. Yes, they'll make it work. Especially our videographer, Chana. He's from Visama Tailevu, and he is so talented.
Wow, sa totoo kan din. Really binakasaranga. And also I could see, when I was watching your music videos, did you do any acting at all?
No, I don't know how to act, but I just improvise. That's the Ngao side.
I think so. There's the ngao and the
And my
lao
mom's
flavor.
side helps, yes. It helps to, really click in. But I was really blessed to, I don't know how to act. I don't know how to model, but I have a good team. Like I said, I was really blessed every time I've been having shoots for videos. I was really blessed to work with Epi Nasara. I was really, really blessed to work with Jed Taylor. He's been working with me for day video and for all of the videos for my EP. And I've been really blessed to have Hayden Wasile. He's part of the Spinning Village team. He is so good at directing. Him and Paris to be able to both direct me for a day and then have the support of all of these different people in all of my videos. I wouldn't have been able to act as good as I did. So I'm happy that you really believed it, because that means it's working.
So acknowledging the now talent side of your family, yeah?
Yes. And it really clicks. Like when they're telling me what to do,
Yeah.
click Vinaksarama in Ngao side. She's like, okay, I get it. Yes.
Totoo kasaranga. Keep up the good job and the fashion and those earrings. Who gave you those earrings? Those big
Which one
earrings?
is this the shell one?
Yeah.
The shell one, yeah, that was Jed. Jed is so talented. He's a very he's a visionary person too. He has these different ideas and he makes it happen. Even if there's no resources in Fiji, with the outfits from Dave, they were made out of resin. He made those corsets out of resin by himself with the material. And the shells, I was like, how did you get these earrings? They're so beautiful. And he said, I just got the shell, I drill a hole and I put the pin. He did it himself. He is such a good DIY person. So he's so talented. That's Jed.
Wow. Look at that. I'm just in awe of the creativity, behind the whole video, because you can tell that there are people behind the camera. You've got those with the camera, those with the sound, and then of course with fashion that comes with your costume. And now my last question is your hair, because I've been a huge promoter of the Fijian hair, and I just love your hair. So what decision did you make to keep your Fijian buininga, your Fijian hair in everything you do?
Thank you so much, Dr. T. I love your hair.
With
It's like a big part of our identity. When I was in Brazil, I had long hair for most of my life. It was up to my shoulders, but I was getting tired of it. Someone tell me to perm my hair, I perm my hair. Someone told me to straighten it, I straightened it. And then at one point, I was so tired of it, and it was like a hassle. I was like, you know what? What if I just cut it? Because my grandmother has Fijian hair, buininga. My mom has a buininga. My dad has a buininga. My mom's mom and her dad had buininga. Like, why don't I just cut it? Not many people in my family wanted to. My grandmother was always saying for one of my cousins to cut their hair and have Fijian hair, and I beat them to it, honey. I cut my hair in Brazil in 2013. I cut my hair, and from 2013 till now, and probably till the end, I'll have my hair like this. And it's because it's easier. It's natural hair. I don't have to do too much. That was also why I did it. It was easy to maintain. And people loved it. When I was away on the other side, it was good promotion for Fiji. People would ask me about it, and I'd be able to promote Fiji to them. So they'd be like, "Oh, I love your hair. How'd you do that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a traditional hair." And then they'd ask me questions about Fiji. So I was almost like promoting Fiji. I was Ministry of Tourism in Brazil. I was doing that. Plus, because that was part of my dad's job. My
Yes.
dad's job was to also market Fiji in a way to Brazilians to be able to be like, come to Fiji, have a vacation, blah, blah, blah. Me, I was also doing that on the side. I wasn't paid for it, but I was doing it for free because I was representing Fiji. So I'm very proud of our home. And this is a special thing about us that I feel like I'm very proud of it. And I've had it from 2013, and I'll probably have it for the next years to come.
Wow, that is amazing. So that's like over 10 years.
Yes, over 10 years. And I beat my cousins to it. My grandmother was telling all my cousins to cut their hair. Kita tak loira sa coach to me Brazil. A coach to sa lupa tu.
Totoo ka sarap nga. And I think at some point when I was talking to Te,
Yes.
Lisa, I think at one point we were talking about hair, because last year I did a month for the month of July. I created the Mbuininga month, and just to celebrate Mbuininga for 1 month. And
Yes.
I have to tell you, Kali, that it's not 1 month, it's over a year now. I still share the pictures of women who send me their Mbuininga for their children, for their grandchildren. It's just such a beautiful thing, just to celebrate.
Yes.
So Vinakabaka live representing us.
Of course. I mean, it's who we are. It's who we are, and it'll always be with us.
So Vinakabaka. How does your mom feel about it? Because she has a Mbuininga too.
Oh,
Is there
kongaya.
competition there too?
Shit. Competition is tight. But she loved it. Ever since I cut my hair, like we look like twins. So everywhere we go in Brazil, everyone always knew that we would look like twins. They thought she was my sister. And you know her, she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I am her sister. She's my mom. Stop lying." So that was, everyone always knows us from our hair. Everyone always knows who we are in Brazil. They always knew we were Fijians, like the Fijian mom and daughter duo. And in Fiji, everyone always knows it's me from my hair. If I don't have my hair out, they don't know it's me.
So it's big. It's now like connected to you, eh? So they see you, they see your hair. It's connected.
Yes.
So man, with Nakavakale, when that's just wonderful that you started to have that idea to cut your hair not in Fiji, but when you were overseas.
Yes, it was important because every time we'd go in the airports, we'd have African Americans always saying that they loved our hair, and we'd have African representatives in Brazil who would be like, "I love your hair. Like, it's really hard for us to grow our hair out, because of the coils. The coils in their hair, it's tighter. So it's more difficult for them to grow it out." And I'd just be like, I'm grateful. I'm so thankful that you love it, because it's a blessing for us in Fiji. Our hair grows very easily. It grows with no product, it grows. And that's the thing we should be proud of, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. And especially now for you, being a singer, you are more in the spotlight, singing, in different locations. And just to have you sing with your hair like that,
Yes.
wow. And we've got some fans saying hello. Dombula may Uzbekistan. Oh my goodness. The Fijians here from Australia. Dombula Vinaka. Thank you for commenting. June Kamkamida from here in the US. And Lela Luvu says that she loves
Oh.
your Tamaqu song.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for the
Mm.
love and support.
Vinaka besar na Semati Kumai. Thank you, William. So there's some comments which I think is just for you to read, Kali. Must be some from some of your cousins.
Oh my goodness, there. Those are the cousins back who were supposed to cut their hair and they didn't cut it.
Vinaka, thank you for the comments. I leave it to Kali to respond to it. But lots of love and lots of hearts coming through from our Talanoa today, Kali. I just want to take this time to say Vinaka Wakalevu for taking the time away from your busy schedule. I was just so happy this week. I was like, I'm going to ask again. I'm just going to ask again because I've been listening to her songs. And I just want to say Vinaka Wakalevu, Kali, for using your talent and remembering your dad. And, he's left a legacy there for you. And of course, with your beautiful mom and her wonderful support. I'm sure just your future will be more brighter, from here on. So maybe to conclude our Talanoa today, Kali, any word of advice for our youths, young
Mm,
people, there's so much talent out there for
yeah.
songwriting and singing. What would you like to tell them?
I think if there's anything that will come from me for the youth, I would just say if you have dreams, if you have a talent, you have a purpose for sure on this earth. That's why you're here. And never let that go. Always stay focused. If you have a talent or a dream, go for it. There's nothing stopping you. There's so many things that are possible. I didn't even plan this for myself, and yet I'm here. And it just comes together. And at the same time, always keep God in your focus. Always keep your faith, always keep God at the center of your life, because that will lead you. When you don't have any idea of where you're going to go, that's the best place to look to when you have nothing. And for me, that was when I had nothing and I didn't have any motivation, nothing. I just kept God in the center of it. And he literally led me out of that place that I was in to now be here and receive all of these blessings that he's aligned for me in my path. And so, stay focused, keep working hard. If you do something, do to the best of your ability, no matter how big or small. That's what I go by too.
Vinaka Vakale. Wow, what a beautiful way to share those beautiful words of encouragement, Kali. There's so many young people out there, who have the talent, and now they could look up to you as a role model for them. And Vinaka Vakale for representing so many of us, women, and your Uluvakaviti out there, your beautiful talent. And we just want to wish you all the very best.
Thank you so much, Dr. T. Thank
Yeah.
you for having me.
Yes, thank you. And also to your team there in Vatuanga. When I come over to Fiji sometime
Yes.
soon, I might just pop by to say hi to the team because,
Yes.
We hear the final product of your music, but
Yes.
it's what's happening now
Yes.
that makes a big difference.
Yes. Yes. If not for this team, I wouldn't be here for sure.
Yes. So maybe you want to do a shout out to some of those of your friends that out there that and your team that
Yes.
support the work that you do. Over to you
Yes,
now.
yes. I would love to shout out my team here at VT1S. Thank you so much for believing me and giving me all of the resources I needed to be this person. To the Cordoviris, the Wasiles, to my fellow artists on VT1s, you guys really motivate me because you have the experience. Thank you for lending that experience and the knowledge in the industry to me. You guys didn't gatekeep anything from me, and I'm thankful for that. Thank you to my church family in Centenary. Thank you to my work family in Bull Outsourcing. Thank you to my friends, all my OBs and my OGs at Suva Christian. You guys get me through. Thank you to everybody that I've met along the way in my life, in my short life. Thank you for making a huge impact. We have a long way to go, and I can't wait to make more just for all of you. And thank you, Mom.
Yay! Thank you, Mom. You should mention Mom, yeah?
Yes,
Because I'm
thank you,
sure she's
Mom.
listening somewhere.
Yes.
So Vinaka Vale, all the very best and you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you so much, Dr. T. Thank you so much. I love you so much. Thank you for having me.
Vinaka, take care. All the best.
Bye.
Bye. Naka. Na. Mother.
Bye.
Yes. Wow. Vinaka Vakalevu to Kali Tui or Abigail Tuiloma, who's connecting in from the beautiful Watuanga in Suva, the studio that they are in right now, that they are actually doing some recording today. So we come in and mai. Thank you for acknowledging the presence of Kali. Many of you have been following her beautiful songs. She has been doing a lot of covers for many of the songs, especially her area of singing is in the R&B genre. But it's just wonderful to hear her story of where she was raised and her memory of her dad and her dedication of a song called Tamaqu. So some of you actually came very late, and now you missed the song of Tamaqu early. I'm going to play it again. Yeah, so let's listen to Kali's dedication of this song, Tamaqu, dedicated to her dad. And her dad is from Tubou, Lakeba in Laos. Let me straighten my top. I know many of you are admiring my top. Yeah, I had this top specifically worn for Kali and the interview today. So, Mr. Vama Tuiloma is from Tubou, Lakeba in Laos, and married to Mrs. Serima Mode Tuiloma from Nukulo village in Ngao. And so I'm going to play the song, Tamaqu. Such a beautiful, beautiful song that they've sent me to play for all of us. So thank you, everybody. Eleke Vaka, thank you. This is the color from Cama. Thank you, Jim Delay, Lesiano Wati, Naka, Rosie Ranrokai, Susana Tivanga, Emma Rose, thank you for joining in. And Jim Delay. Jim, if you want my phone number, I'll send it to you. I won't give Kali's number, but my number. All right. Vinaka Valewa, I will play the song now, and thank you for joining in, everyone. Enjoy the song Tamaqu.
Toka e asango Lulu e tarai au voli O de toka le Tamaqu Susungi e na yalondina Turangan dau da kadaka Deri o da nave isotari Dola tangalungalu tu ai tavi Yalondina vakaturanga Kondomoni tina gundina Vei vakatabuli di vakatama Domano tu ai vala vala Au yeleo anganga tu endai Niu viving itu enomu kawai Balolo ale tu ni bakanananu Au tawangole David Tamaqu Tawangole David Tamaqu Au tawangole David Tamaqu Tawangole David Tamaqu Ko tawangole Davile Oh Tango makitue asamu Nikondau vakande meni yau Toko na voli tunongu tatandra Tau masulaka tunongu sasanga Autoso tue na hukumu walenga Au sadingoma meu karabina Vei kadhibitu na olo aloha Lutumbina ya loe na mafoa Solia akaluka utatalenga Aundonu makanomu loloma Au yelewa nganga tuendai Niu viving itue no mukawai Balolo ale tuni bakanananu Au tawangule davitamamu Tawangule davitamamu Au tawangule davitamamu Tawangule davitamamu Ko tawangule davile Tawangule davitamamu Tawangule davitamamu Tawangule davitamamu Ko tawangule davile
Totoko bakawoti vikemni na varong iti kumay na sigubena ni ko pinakabali na nomuni sema may bat kay Kali Tui no na may Talanoa ti ko kwa weekend signo ko na buko ni nona talendi nila nga sere lewu sartu ko na sere totoka imbita ti ko mo kwa tolu sengay si sere ki nga minggo bita na nona sere ti ko na day sanga ti ko na Tamaqu sayala na dondomongo totoko bakawoti na nona bola sere o juben juben ke warong ti kumelo toka angol chikan gona vambula be kemni ju ke na nomu ni mata bubale o timuni ke na lobe muni sa katalenga ni ngwele ta kino solo ti kuitonga ando bola sere katiko sarong komena bonome Marshall Islands babini bina katiko wani bola mo ko na sere na dondomongo totokan din na non rabito koni o irna do bola sere ke irna do lang sere kasama ikatoni ngona sere totokongo kalangata keriti kono ngone ni Tubou Lakeba mai lau o Abigail Tuiloma rana ni nona lang sere o Kali Tui vasu kina nukuloma ingau maramatinana o serima moade Tuiloma sava moade vikemni na semo meni ko ba di binaka na ni bito ko ni mai na ni rome Talanoa batike Kali Tui ni mataka na sema tikumikina o Mr. Sabinada na rumbe ngosa katulu ni Robi Talanoa ke na nunguturanga tau na walu na kaloko na mbongi ni mataka na madha ka tumai lebu sarera na tumani tiko merna mai Talanoa weekenda totoka na ve Talanoa so daroni da mai rongo da meta mai bimbulongo di tukina na totoka ni ve talendi na ve kabaka bisinisi vita tala na program krona va dortiko na neto tiko tiko me na saunrau me na mosi na ga wasi tuko yani na kene tuku tuku matela lai na nongo i bata bata au va bini binaka bikemni gosa tin kadona kaloko na bongi ni singa marumbuka veke tongo Amerika au sa ker mo sa baka vingo toka yani ngo na langai sota yani na singa ni mataka ni kalau ngati tiko ni mata mata Jim Delay na kumati tau na skeli siro deve e agora background mega sound raw mai na mosi chuel robulala ni bulu bina kalos na kete bina kwali buna semati ko mai ke na bubale na na bula mai Washington State. Salalom sarti yani Mr. and Mrs. Luker Nabula Jun kamida pinakabali na barong tumay o sa lolong tu yani bikem ni kede dan kay sota tu kayani and siga ni mataka pinakabakalebu ni malamata.